I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. So I am sitting here messing with my perfume. So my perfume, I got this from TJ Maxx, and I love it, y'all. And this is one of the scents that I very rarely put on. And I rarely put this one on because I'm not sure when I will find it again or get it again. And so it still has, I bought this like over a year ago, and it still has, it's still pretty full. Good morning. It's still pretty full. So my perfume again today is Solar Blanc, and it's made by one of my favorite perfume combinations. It's made by the same people that make this, and it's a company called Milestones. And so yeah, I feel so pretty today. I'm not gonna tell no lie. I feel so pretty today, y'all. And so yeah, this is my perfume of choice. And as you all can tell, I got black on, so I'm going to the gym. And so yeah, I see the weight, I see it. And so I said, man, I should step back so y'all can see the whole fit. I got on these black sneakers that I designed myself. Yeah, got my, and they have rhinestones and they high top and everything. And so I'm very happy. And yesterday was so funny because yesterday I looked in the mirror and I finally saw my weight loss in my face. I was like, I saw, my goodness, the weight's got. Yesterday I finally saw the weight loss in my face. And this morning when I woke up, of course, because I do keto, um, I've been eating strict keto for the last 3 days now, 2 3 days. And this morning when I woke up, I went ahead and I checked my I got the keto strips to check to see where you are in keto. I got the strips, the ketone strips, and I checked it, and I am now in small to medium ketosis. And so by tomorrow I should be in high keto. And once I hit high keto, it's going to be 1 pound a day. But the good thing is I'm losing a pound of fat, not muscle, because I'm in the gym. I just made my pre-workout not long ago. My pre-workout, it has two different pre-workouts in it because it don't give you that itch. It don't give you that junky itch. Um, I don't know who that is, but anyway. But yeah, so Charles, you're gonna be disrespectful. You're gonna get put out of here. You understand that? I know your mama taught you manners. Don't just delete their comments when they say little wicked stuff like that. Hide them from the channel. Block them from the channel. So anyway, but so made me forget my frame of thought. Now you demonic. You came in here and made me forget my thought. That's demonic. But anyway, but yeah, so I checked it, and so I'm one thing about it is I'm doing my weights and everything. When I fix my pre-workout, I put creatine in it. I put two different pre-workouts in it because the two different one has more benefits than the other, but neither one gives you that itch. Neither one gives you that itchy feeling. So that's why I was able to put both of them together, and it works because once I get in the gym, I get on the bike and I do my miles on the bike. I do my highest miles have been 35 miles has been my highest miles on the bike at the gym. So I'm so happy that, and all the weight loss is showing me is that my hormones are back balanced. Because we talked about that yesterday. When I tell you the black girl vitamins work, when I tell you I'm waiting for my beef organs to come today, my beef organ vitamins, when I tell you those two together is like a holy grail. When I tell you within I'm gonna tell you how much the black girl vitamins work. I don't like to be cold, y'all. I sleep under a heating blanket at night. So you don't think it. And so I'm telling you, it worked. The fact that I'm able to sleep on a heating blanket and I'm in menopause, yeah, that says a whole freaking lot right there. So I'm just very excited. But what I did come on here to talk to y'all about is I want to talk to y'all. Oh, y'all, I got this from Publix, y'all. It's actually pretty good. I actually put a green smoothie, powerful, super green smoothie detox thing in it as well. And I didn't finish it, so I'm gonna finish it now. But this morning for breakfast, my breakfast was straight keto. I got one of those egg life wraps, and it's literally two carbs, and then I put some sausage on it, and I put an egg on it, and I put cheese. So my breakfast was straight keto, but it was filled with protein, and not only that, my entire breakfast, because when you do keto, you consume more fat than carbs. So my breakfast this morning was almost at 50 grams of fat, but all healthy fat though. But anyway, I'm gonna tell you why I came on here though. Um, right now there's the boycott of the Asian stores in our communities. Right now it's the boycott. It's the boycott, and the boycott is justified. I will say that. But they're saying now that it's not just going to be a boycott. They said stop calling it a boycott. They said that now we want you out of our communities. But I'm gonna say this to black people. I'm gonna say this to black people. Where I live at is a lot of interracial couples. Where I live at, there is more white people, and that's more white people than black people where I live. Okay, let me put that like that. But let me tell you something, and this, I want you to hear me when I say this. I rather live around white people than my own kind. I'm gonna tell you why. Y'all done heard me tell the stories of one of my neighbors. Y'all heard me tell the story and how she acts like it's a competition. If I like, like when I first moved over here, she had a green tree in her window. I had a white tree in my window for Christmas. She took her green tree down and went and bought a white tree. I told you about how I decorate. I even was outside live showing y'all how I literally made my own wreath for my front door. It was blue and yellow. And how literally 2 days later, she had one of her friends standing, and I'm sitting there looking out my window. Look, I'm watching this mess. I'm sitting there looking out my window, and the girl is outside doing a yellow and blue wreath and looking at my door, trying to figure out how to position it, looking at my door. Then she went to the store to get some more blue and yellow flowers just so she could put it up. I'm gonna tell you this. If I go out there and cut my grass today, later on that day, her husband gonna cut that grass. Now, it also has been times where I have cut my grass before it started raining, and her little thick husband is outside cutting the grass in the rain. I'm gonna say this. My black neighbors don't speak, but every time they have family gatherings and stuff, because every time they have family gatherings and things like that, they want to park in front of my home. My black neighbors don't speak. They think they're better than people. But let me tell you about my white neighbors. I'm sorry to tell you this. Every time, if I have any problems right now, or if I need to do something, all I gotta do is say, "Hey, pops," or all I gotta do is say, "Hey, Michelle." That's all I gotta do. But I'm gonna tell you, I'd rather live around white people than black people. I'm not racist or nothing like that. But I'm like Daffy Duck, the suburbs, the illusion of success. I don't know what it is. I want to know, how do black people, you all live in the same community, live in the same area, but you think you better than the one that live here, and you think you better than the one that live over there. I said it. Now, let me tell you about why I have a problem sometimes supporting black-owned businesses. I don't care how y'all get mad. I don't care how you feel about what I'm about to say, but I'm going to tell you the truth. When it comes to black-owned businesses, they will rip their own people off. You will have a black-owned business in the community, and their prices are high. And because they're the only one over there, you will pay it. But then an Asian store or Mexican or Indian store will come in the neighborhood, and their prices are 5, 8, 10, $20 less than that black owned business. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I'm saying. There's a black owned, it's the only black owned hair business in Irmo, South Carolina. When she first moved, first the hair salon belonged to an Asian man. The black people that lived in the area boycotted him. And why they boycotted him? Because he would follow you around the store like you trying to steal. So black people decided we don't want to go in there no more. So guess what? Black people stopped going in there, and within a year, he had to shut it down. So you got this husband and wife. They opened up, they decided to put a hair store there. They didn't really have a lot, no nothing. When you went in there, the prices seemed reasonable. But after about 6 months to a year, I went in that hair store. I said, well, let me see, let me go in there and see what they got. I went in that hair store. And things that were $7 at the hair store 10 minutes up the street, things that was $7 in there was 10, 12. I remember there was a face serum that she asked me, she said, is there something in particular you want? I love Urban RX. It's for our skin. So I told her, I said, well, I like Urban RX if you can, get that. She got Urban RX and the price for it didn't make no dang sense. I said, nope. And when I asked, I said, y'all prices done went up. The young lady that worked with her said, she said, well, the reason that we had to take our prices up, which is a bald head lie. The reason we had to take our prices up is because it's easier for the Asians to get this stuff than us. You a liar, money is money. So she said that the reason that they took their prices up as the only black hair supply store, matter of fact, not only the only black, but the only hair store in that city. You took it up because you said it was easier for the Asians to get the stuff than you. You a liar, because the vendors don't look at your color. The vendor look at the fact that you got the money to get the stuff. And I nicely said, I said, you know what? I won't be coming to here no more. Now, at one point, she was the lady and her husband. They were saved, sanctified, all this other stuff. But the minute I called them out on the prices of their stuff in there, all of a sudden they got attitudes now. All of a sudden they got attitudes. And I said, you know what? Now, a lot of you don't know this about me. See, I'm going to tell y'all, and I've been doing it for, hold up, wait a minute. Hold on, I'm going to tell you, hold on. Since 2017. Since 2017, I have been a Google secret shopper too. So I go into stores and I go into businesses and I literally buy stuff honestly. But then after a while, thank you. After a while, Google would say, how was your experience? What was like? But see, Google didn't have to ask me this time, because immediately when I walked out that store, I gave a review on Google about that store. And it was not pretty. The reason black people do not support, I'm going to tell you this, you can boycott them. You can do whatever you want to do with the Asian community. You can boycott them or whatever. But I'm going to tell you, like somebody said, and they did not lie, you could pick up mostly anything in your house and it's going to say made by China. My thing is, yes, the Asian community has taken advantage of the black community. Yes, the Asian community looks at the black community like they're nothing. But guess what? The Indian community looks at you worse than that. But you ain't boycotting the Indian places because you need them to help with this and that. And no, whether you look at it or not, black people need to stop making excuses for stuff that they could have been dealt with. Black people, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna say the truth. Black owned businesses are not it all the time. Their prices are extremely high because they feel like you ought to be privileged that they're black and they're selling anything. And black owned business, well, this is a black owned business, so you know what? You got to support us. You got to do this. And black owned businesses try to rob their own people. They try to rob their own people. And I'm going to say, I'll tell you this. And you say it's not the same as supporting Asian businesses. Let me make this very clear to anybody that wear fake hair, braids, you wear press-on nails, you wear your little jewelry or whatever you wear, even the clothes on your back and all this other stuff. Let me make this very clear. Let me make this very, very clear to you. You said it's not the same as something being made in China and supporting Asian businesses. I'm gonna put it like this. Whether you like it or not, these Asian businesses are not going nowhere. They're not. They're not going nowhere. Not when somebody could buy a bundle of hair at an Asian store for $30, but when they go to a black-owned business, it's $60. I'm going to tell you, because times are hard, and y'all can say what y'all want, and you can sit there with your black self, sitting there like, you know what, we're going to boycott. You can boycott whoever you want to, but they're not going nowhere. Whether you believe it or not, they are not going anywhere. Yes, you need to prove a point to them, but they're not going anywhere. You notice Target ain't going nowhere. You notice that black people were still going to Target, wasn't they? Weren't they? They ain't going nowhere. You do need to put your foot down. And you need to let them know, if you don't like my skin, then don't like my money. Yes, we got to stand our ground. Let them know we won't tolerate disrespect. And if they're going to continue to disrespect, they got to get out of our neighborhoods. Get out of our communities. But I'm gonna tell y'all this because I'm gonna be real. I used to love to travel. I did. I used to love to travel. I used to love to get on the Greyhound bus, and I used to just love to go. But then Greyhound started to get very expensive. So then they came up with, it's called the Chinese bus. And now, the Greyhound bus started costing almost $200 to go from Columbia, South Carolina to New York. Okay. Well, the Chinese bus only charge you $60. Only charge $60 to take you from Columbia, South Carolina all the way to New York. You must understand, they are not going nowhere. They're not. Because they will always beat the price and the greed of the United States people. The Asians will always beat the price of the black-owned businesses, whether you like it or not. Because again, the black-owned businesses think you ought to feel honored and privileged to be able to buy from them. But you know what I think about black-owned businesses? Because I'm a black business owner, but I don't see color. You know what black-owned businesses think? You know what? You should be willing to pay this price and celebrate me because I'm a black woman doing this business. You ought to feel honored and privileged to buy from me because you know what? I started this business, and it's very rare that you find a black-owned business. First of all, statistics show that since 2020, most of the businesses that were open from black people. Exactly, Nikki. Black people don't understand the power that they hold. But at the same time, even though black people hold that power, black people abuse the very power that they got. And then they get mad when the Mexicans come in their community and their businesses do better than yours. And now you got to shut your doors. And the reason why, because you barely paid anything for, prime example, you can get this skin product and they can have the same skin product. You both got it from the same vendors. You got it from the same suppliers. But yours as a black business owner is $10 and theirs is $5.99. I don't care. Y'all gonna get mad about this message, but let me tell you something. Black people are not that innocent. I don't care what you say and how you skin that cat. Black people ain't that darn innocent. And black people need to stop feeling entitled. You know what? I don't care who don't like what I'm saying. You get mad at what I'm saying. Because if you think about what I'm saying, I'm telling you the truth. You can compare. And I'm paying for you paying for quality. You paying for this. I'm paying for quality when I'm getting the exact thing from you that I was getting from the Asian. I'm getting the exact same thing from you that I was getting from the Indian. I'm getting the same exact thing I was getting from the Mexicans. I'm getting the same thing from your store that I was getting from Target, that I was getting from Walmart, that I was getting from Publix, that I was getting from Kroger. We're going to be honest, and y'all could get mad at everything I'm saying, but I'm telling you the truth. Black people will rob their own people and get mad when the Asians come and rob that community, and when the Indians come and rob that community, and when the whites come and rob that community, the black people, all of a sudden, we're going to boycott y'all. That's why I think that the Black Lives Matter movement was it was a crop of crap. Black Lives Matter. Now, all of a sudden, the Black Panthers want to uprise. Black Panthers, why you didn't uprise when there was black on black violence? That's what I don't like about black people. Black people, let me ask you a question. Would you be uprising and would you be boycotting if that boy would have been killed by another black person? I'll wait. I'll wait. I want y'all to be truthfully honest and think about that. Oh, baby, I love myself, honey, but I'm not stupid. I love myself. And don't get mad at what I am saying. Because if you get mad at what I'm saying, I'm telling you the truth. Would y'all have been this mad? Would the Black Panthers be coming to Columbia if that boy would have been killed by a black store owner? Would there have been a Black Lives Matter protest if George Floyd would have been killed by a black cop? Oh, y'all moderators, y'all on it because they mad. Moderators, y'all on it because they mad. I want y'all to be honest. If that young man would have been killed by the hands of another black person, would y'all be protesting? Would you be Million Man marching? Would you be Black Lives Mattering? Let's be honest. I love myself, honey. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, honey. I love myself. But I'm so sick of black people playing the victim to every freaking thing. Oh, it's always somebody else's fault and not black people. We're going to boycott the Asians. How about you boycott that black-owned business whose prices are ridiculous, and the only reason their prices are like that is because they're the only one in the community. Get mad, I don't care. The truth hurts, doesn't it? But the Bible says that the truth shall set you free. Black people want something to hate. Black Black people want something to hate, and you're willing to hate anything and anybody that does not look like you, but you quick to call other people racist when you're racist yourself. I said it. I said it. You quick to call everybody else racist. But I don't hear you protesting when a black person dies at the hands of another black person. I don't hear you protesting, because if you really do your study and statistics to show that black people die more at the hands of other black people than they die to the hands of any other race. Yeah. Let's be honest. Get mad. Yup, get mad. Get mad. I don't care about you getting mad. It is the truth. Black people only stand up and open their big yapping mouths when something happens at the hands of somebody who don't walk like them, talk like them, dress like them, look like them. But you don't protest when little Ray Ray got killed by Pookie over a dice game. You don't protest when Keisha was mad that her man was talking to Tanya and she decided to kill Tanya. You don't get mad at that. You black people look for something to be angry about. You want to protest. Black people are holding them own selves back. Ain't nobody holding no black people down. You can boycott the Asian store all you want. All you want. But because you are crabs in the barrel, no matter how much you boycott them, you're going to always result back to them. Why? Because no matter what, even every time when you finally get the business, when you finally get it established, now all of a sudden your prices go up. All of a sudden you price gouging. Why is that? Because greed has crept in. And then guess what? See, the Asians do their homework. They send people in your stores to find out your prices. And while they're secretly moving in the building in the same plaza. And so what you're selling for $50, they're going to sell it for $29.99. And then guess what? They're going to keep doing that. And when people come into their stores and they realize that their prices are better than yours, they don't give a crap that you black. All they know is that they're saving money, which means they're able to have more money and they're able to keep more money. So what ends up happening after about a year to 2 years, your business is put out of business. Why? Because of greed. Because of greed. Because of greed. See, this is the funny thing. Somebody said you can negotiate with sellers. Here's the problem. Why is it that black people, when they go into certain businesses, they want to negotiate prices, but when they go into the white man's store, they'll pay whatever it says? You want to negotiate here. You want to negotiate, and then I ain't going to just tear down the black-owned businesses. That's not what I'm doing. Because some of you black people, you go in black-owned businesses thinking you're going to get a deal because it's owned by a black person. We're talking about black people in a whole. We're not pointing them. We're talking about black people in a whole. We're talking about how black people will rob other black people, how black people will go into black-owned businesses and say, come on, help me out, bro. Help me out, sis. You help me out. Help me out. But they'll go into Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Michael Kors, Target. I don't see none of y'all walking in Walmart talking about, yo, can you knock $5 off of that? I don't see y'all going in Target or Ulta or Sephora. I don't see y'all going in none of them businesses talking about, come on, man, take some off of that. Come on, man. But when it comes to black-owned businesses, I'm helping you to understand why black-owned businesses ain't succeeding like you want them to. One, they like crabs in a barrel. One, black businesses, when they come in communities, they try to rob the black people that's in it. And yet they get mad when the Asians and the Mexicans and everybody else come in the community and give better prices than them. They get mad when the Asians and the Mexicans and them come in the community. And guess what? They beat their prices. And the next thing you know, within a year to 2 years, they're out of business. The reason why? Because of the mindset of black people. I don't care what you say. I am one of those people. I look at stuff like that. Who don't want their money to stretch, especially with this administration? Who would not want their money to stretch, especially with these gas prices? We're going to be honest and we're going to stop playing. We're going to stop making it look like the black businesses are the victims. We're going to stop making it look like, no, all this. We're going to boycott. Yeah, he was wrong. He was wrong. And personally, I'm going to be honest. What he said actually was true. It was just how he said it. We're going to be honest. Black people don't want to deal with the nasty attitude of another black person. So you sit in my chair with that bad attitude, you can get up and you can go. I'm sitting here and I'm doing your feet and you talking about me on the phone and gossiping and being that, you can get up out of here. You can get up out of here. I'm going to be honest. Nowadays, can I keep going? Nowadays, let's talk about black people and their hair. Nicki Minaj and all of them got hair down their backs, but they wear wigs. Yeah, they got black-owned wig owners. They sure do. But it's cheaper for me to get a wig from an Asian store than it is for me to get a wig from a black-owned business. Because I seen, y'all, this ain't no joke. I've seen wigs. I wanted to get an install from a young man that's here in Colombia. I wanted to get an install. I looked at his prices. His prices just to glue a wig on my head was almost $300. Almost $300 freaking dollars to glue a wig on my head. Almost $300. But yet I can go to an Asian hair store and I can get my bundles, my glue, my lace, my cap, whatever, for roughly around, I'm going to say $150 or so, depending on the quality of the hair and the length of the hair. So I'm saving $150 going to the Asians. Do y'all get what I am saying? Do you get what I'm saying? When it comes to, like I said, what that young man said, it was the way he said it, because he said it with a bunch of anger. He literally, he said it with, I dare y'all to challenge us. I dare y'all to boycott us. That's what raised up the boycott. Now, I'm going to be honest. We're going to be honest. If he wouldn't have said nothing, there wouldn't have been no boycott. You would have still been going to Kim's Beauty Supply. You would have still been going to King's Beauty Supply. You would have been going to Ling Ling's hair supply store. You would have still been going there because again, black people like to fight. Black people love trouble. Black people love to argue. But again, all of this, I just don't understand it. That's why when y'all know, all of y'all that was with the channel, that's why I didn't support Black Lives Matter. That's why I didn't support Black Lives Matter. And I'm going to tell you how the double standard is. So that guy, that white cop killed George Floyd. Literally around 2-3 months later, some black cops killed a black man because one of the black cops was mad that his ex moved on with that guy. Where was the boycott? Come on. Where was the boycott? Black people, come on. Where was the boycott? Where was the boycott? Black people always want to be the same. That's why I'm not a fan of that Tamika girl. That's why I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of none of them, because they only got something to say when the camera is on. But y'all got so much to say. Black Panthers and Tamika, no way, y'all got so much to say. But unless the camera's on, y'all not in the black communities talking to our black kids about black on black violence, black on black hate, black on black crime. Y'all not doing none of that. Y'all only got something to say when the camera is on your loud mouth. You only got something to say when you feel like you about to be, oh, this is my big moment. But other than that, you silent. You silent. Black Panthers, when y'all at? Why y'all not going through the schools for Black History Month? Why y'all not going to the all black college campuses? Black Panthers? Y'all don't open y'all mouth. Y'all don't stand up for black people until something happens to somebody black at the hands of somebody that don't look like them. But your mouth is still shut when a black man kills another black man and when a black woman kills another black woman. I said it. I said it. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. You people you could say whatever you want, however you want. It's all the truth. Black people always want something to argue and fight about. It's the bad part. What are you doing to change what's going on? You get us to vote for you. You get us to put you in government, and you do nothing. But then when something happens, that's your moment to speak up about what's going on. I still am waiting to see what is it that Jasmine Crockett has actually done except run her mouth and come up with little catchy phrases and stuff. What has she changed? She didn't change nothing. That's why I was glad when she lost her seat. We are not, I don't believe that you put people in position because of the color of their skin. But if you're going to put people in positions, put people in there that's going to actually get in there and do what it is that they said that they're going to do. Because see, what you don't know, while you're voting for these people, just because of the color of their skin, your black daughter, your black son will be affected by what they don't do. Said it. I don't care if people mad. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you, there was a lot of people mad today in this live. But you know I'm not lying. All of you black people, I want you to think about your communities. And the last time that someone black died at the hands of somebody black in your community, did y'all protest? Did they protest? Well, Mary, I ain't got to check. First of all, I ain't got to check nothing Jasmine Crockett does, honey. I ain't got to check nothing that loudmouth woman does. Because that's all she is a loudmouth. Anyway. But I want you black people, look in your communities. And the last time that someone black died at the hands of somebody black, did y'all protest? Did y'all protest? The last time a black store owner took a life or did something to a black boy, black girl, whatever, did y'all protest? Did the Black Panthers come? Did the Black Lives Matter come? You only want to uprise when something happens from someone that does not look like us. And yet you claim you ain't racist. That's a double standard. That's a double standard. Someone said, I must hate myself because I'm speaking. No, I'm telling you my experience with black people. And you sitting there and you saying, I'm going to put it like this. You saying, if you don't like our color, you ain't going to get our money. If you don't like me, you ain't going to get my money. Well, that's how I feel about black-owned businesses. If you ain't going to respect me and you ain't going to look at me like I still got a life outside of your store, then I'm not going to support your business. And it ain't my problem if your business go out of business. You can say whatever you want to say. Black people are something else. So you can hate me. You can say whatever you're going to say. Truth is the truth, and the truth will set you free. So there it is. There it is. There's a black-owned hair salon not far. She jacked her prices up because she realized she was the only black-owned business in the area. And so guess what? When she jacked her prices up, I went straight to the Asian store. Because I got to lay them edges down. Y'all can say what you want. The color of your skin. Let me make this clear. Black people will rob other black people just like the Asians will rob the black people. The Mexicans will rob the black people. The Africans will rob the black people. The Haitians who don't respect black people in America. So whether you look at it or not, this is not about race as much as you think it is. It's about the content of someone's character. And yes, they like our culture. They like our music. They like to dance to our music. They like to imitate our music. But that's all they want. And also, they like the color of our money. They like the color of our money. But I will say that. I will say this. I will say this. People are people. I've dated black men. I dated white men. And guess what I found out? A man is still a man, no matter the color of his skin. And I'm going to say that about black people and white. People are people, no matter the color of their skin. Everything that people do, according to the Bible, is based upon their hearts. It's based upon their hearts. And my thing is, I know about Black Wall Street. I know about the power of black people if they finally come together. But we can't come together if black businesses are going to rob black people. You can't want us to support you and you rob us at the same time. Because even if your stuff is $10.99 and theirs is $5.99. Everyone, I'm telling you, especially if I need that thing about once a week or 2 or 3 times a month, that mess adds up. So I'm gonna be honest. Y'all need to keep the same energy y'all got right now while y'all boycotting the Asian stores. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy when there's black on blacks violence, so you can stop that. So you can't just boycott the Asian stores and stuff thinking you're going to get them to finally stop doing what they're doing and finally get them to stop discriminating against the very people that got their businesses in the community and staying in the community. How about you show that same energy when it's black on black? You know, Dietrich, you obviously just came in here, so you don't know what you're talking about. So let me make that very clear. So, but the funny thing is, you said black people have been being killed since they came to America. Okay. Yep. And black people been killing other black people since they came to America. So let's put that out there. You want to talk about it? We can really dig into it. You know how Malcolm X, Frank Hammond, and all of them died. You want to know all about all of them, and how Martin Luther King and all of them died. You want to talk about how most of the time black people die because there's a black snitch in their camp. He said, "The day I see that, I'm gonna turn on. I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna tell if the due to the like I was saying previously, they got these protective hairstyles, and I'm gonna be honest. Some of you black women, you look like Cynthia from Rugrats without your hair done. And so I'm gonna just say it. Some of these women, they forgot what they look like without hair, without fake hair, without extensions. They forgot. And yes, I wear it too when I want to. Don't play with me because I'll pop up on here tomorrow looking like Pocahontas, honey. And the reason I'm not mad at the Asian community is because the black community kills one another more than any other race kills them. So I'm gonna put all of that out there. Don't play with me. I'ma still my hair may be short tomorrow. You gonna play with me? That thing gonna be down here tomorrow, and I'm gonna be swinging that thing like it's mine. You boycotting the Asian community because of what happened? Do y'all even know why? And this is the saddest part. Black people just get on the bandwagon, and and this and this and that. And oh, and you know what? Oh, he should have been found guilty and all this other stuff. Let me say this. He was before a jury of his peers. The reason that man was not found guilty is because the prosecutors cannot prove his guilt to the jury. You mad at him being found innocent? The prosecutors fumbled the case. Just like they sold their own to slavery. You better say it. That's what it was. Y'all mad. Y'all mad. But the prosecutors are the one that fumbled. Yeah, that man, he was wrong with his slick mouth. You know, black people like you gonna mess around and find out today. Yeah, it's to prove a point. The same way the black people proved a point to Target. But I'm gonna tell you, you can prove a point for a few days. But honey, eventually them edges gonna start curling up. Eventually, you're going to go and you're going to reach out to a black-owned business because you need you some hair extensions. That's this YouTuber. And honey, she be like, yeah, I'm now selling bundles. Honey, y'all, those who watch YouTube, you probably going to guess what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm selling bundles. Click the link so you can go look at them. Honey, and I'm talking about one bundle. I ain't talking about where you get 3 bundles like you can get off of Amazon. Even though, and when you order them off of Amazon, they still come from the Asians. It tells you when it tells you who's the seller. It's still when it tells you the store. Still come from the Asians. Player. Oh. So if you decide that we're gonna boycott the Asian stores in our community, but you still go on Amazon, boo, you better check and see that some of that, y'all that love Temu and Shein and a lot of these other ones like Style Me and Asian. Asian, some of y'all about to be walking around here looking rough. Some of y'all about to be walking around here looking like slaves. Some of y'all about to be walking around here looking like buckwheat. Some of y'all, well, I decided to go natural. No, boo, you looking nappy like that. You looking nappy and happy, honey, because of the boycott. Because, honey, we know that you would normally braid that stuff down under there. And we know you would normally have that hair down your back, whether it's pink, yellow, green, blonde, or black. No, listen to you miss what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying, okay, because I'm responding to, what is their name? Their name is It's What It Is. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm saying the prosecutors fumbled that case. And I said that the prosecutors could not prove his guilt. I didn't say he didn't do it. That's not what I said. I said that he could not, the prosecutors were not able to prove without a shadow of doubt that he did what he did to that boy intentionally. They could not prove that it was not self-defense. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he wasn't wrong. I'm not saying he didn't do that. I'm not even saying that he did not do that on purpose, because we all know what it means when your back is to somebody. We all know what that means. So if my back is to you, how am I a threat to you? So we all know what that means. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that the prosecutors fumbled that case. That's what I'm saying. Because the prosecutors were actually, if you think of it, they were standing in the gap of that young man. And they were defending him, even though he was no longer here to defend himself. So what I'm saying is the prosecutors could not prove to the jury of his peers the intent. That's why he got off. That's what it is. It ain't the fact that he didn't do it. It ain't the fact that nobody believed he did it. That's not what it is. No, the issue is that the prosecutors, this happened years ago, but the prosecutors, they had enough time to build a case, a solid case, but they failed to do so. That's really what this was. I'm not defending nobody. All I'm talking about is the fact, I'm talking about black-owned businesses. Everybody mad about what he did was wrong. Somebody's baby is gone. That is deadly. That is, that is darn sure wrong. But what I'm saying is, keep the same energy that you have with what happened to that young man when it's black-on-black crime. When it's that black man and that black man, when it's that black girl and that black girl, when it's that black man and black woman. Keep that same energy. We as black people cannot just want to rise up and be heard when something is done by somebody that does not look like us. We have to rise up even when they look like us. We got to rise up even when they talk like us. We have to rise up. Shantae, if it would have been different, if the shoe was on the other foot, it would have been totally different. That young man would have been found guilty. Yes, we know that. Yes, we know that. And that's why I asked the question, if a black person would have done that to that young man, would the Black Panthers still be coming? Would the black community be boycotting that business and all other businesses associated with him? Would that's the question. If this was a different scenario and a different situation, because black people only rise up when something is done by somebody that don't look like us. Why is it that it's okay for us to do these things to one another, and we are side, man, I'm gonna miss old boy, dang, that's messed up what happened to old girl. Yeah, oh man, this happened. What the funny thing is, black people stay silent to black on black crimes. They stay silent. And now they got this boycott going on, and now they want us to support black-owned businesses, support the same black-owned businesses that rob us, support the same black-owned businesses that jack their prices up higher than the Asians, higher than the white people, higher than the Mexicans, higher than even when it comes to the African people. The African people, they jack their prices up like the black people. It's the same thing. Keep that same energy. That's all I'm saying. Keep that same freaking energy when it's black on black crime. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Black people, we gotta, if you want us to support your black owned businesses, in order to beat them, you gotta beat them at their own game. I shouldn't go in the store. I shouldn't go to the Asian store and buy something for $15 and it's $25 with you. No, if theirs is $15, take yours down to $13.99 if you have to. We shouldn't, even when it comes to, we have a flea market in Lexington, in Lexington, West Columbia, in Lexington area. And on Wednesdays is wholesale day. So it's wholesale day. We have, I think they like some kind of Indian or something, I'm not sure, but it's close to that. They sell African garment, beautiful African clothes, beautiful African garment. And they have like, it's like thousands of pieces. And they like $25 and $30. But I went into an African store. I was like, oh, I said, I would love to start tying my head up. I would love to buy me some African garment. Oh my goodness. You go in their store, the African store, their garments are $70, $75, $80, $90. They do the same thing that black people do. Same thing. I love going in Asian grocery stores. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm telling you, you want some fresh vegetables and some fresh meat, and especially fresh seafood, go into an Asian grocery store. You go into an Indian grocery store. Like, for instance, we have a grocery store called Halal's. Halal's when I tell you their spices, you get boxes. And man, you go in Halal or that, it's an Indian grocery store. It's two Indian grocery stores on Bush River Road. You go in those stores, you get bags, and I mean bags of seasoning. You get bags of turmeric for like $3. And guess what? It's the real turmeric. It's the one that stains the finger. You go in our grocery, you go in the grocery store, you get a small thing like that, and it's going to cost you $5 or so. But you get boxes. They got them in boxes, and they got bags of them. Bags of cumin, curcumin, all that stuff. They got bags of peppers, and they got bags of everything you can imagine. I get, what's that sugar that I get? What is it? Jackery sugar. Jaggery sugar, I get it. And I get a big, it's pure sugar. It's pure cane sugar. It has not been overly processed, no nothing. It's pure. And so I get a bag, it's a big old bucket. I pay $7 for that bucket. And when you read the container, it says 10 pounds. You want us to support your businesses, but you rob us. You come in our community with your liquor stores. You bring your liquor stores in our community, and then you wonder why there's Ned the Wino, Keisha the Drunk. You come in our neighborhood to tear the neighborhood down with your liquor stores and all this other stuff. Yeah, they do it too. They do it too. But I'm going to say this to all you black people, to all black people. If you want them out of our communities, are you going to replace their businesses? You want them out of our community? Are you going to keep the prices that they had? Better yet, are you going to lower them just a little bit? You get what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? You want them out of our communities? Okay. Are you going to open up a laundromat? And for us to use the small machine, we don't have to put $3 worth of quarters in? I remember when I used to have to go to the wash machine, when I used to have to go to the laundromat. And here's the kicker. The laundromat that I used to go to was owned by a black person. Are you going to make it affordable for me to wash my clothes at your laundromat? Is it still going to cost me 25 cents for 10 minutes for me to dry my clothes? Or is it now $1 for 10 minutes? Black people, you want us to support your businesses and you want them out of our communities? Are you going to replace their businesses? That's what they do it too, but liquor stores ain't open at 5:30 in the morning. Oh my Lord. Believe it or not, I went to visit one of my friends in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan one time. Actually Springfield, Michigan. I went to visit one of my friends and they had a 24-hour liquor store. I said, because I said it was like 9 o'clock. I said, y'all liquor store stay open past 7? And she said, that's a 24-hour liquor store. Yep. You want them out of our neighborhoods? Are you going to replace their businesses? You want them out of our communities? Are you going to replace the businesses you want removed? Because everybody can't rob everybody. And one of the most hurtful things is for us to keep talking about how far we shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, now deep in my heart, I still believe we shall overcome someday. How I'm going to overcome if the same people that's claiming to have overcome with me is robbing me? Keep talking about we going to overcome. How we ain't going to never overcome acting like crabs in a barrel. Don't boycott if you're not going to replace it. Don't boycott if you are going to also be a part of the problem when we give you the opportunity to fix it. Don't just boycott Asians and white businesses and Indian businesses and stuff when they discriminate against us. Because whether you believe it or not, there are black people that hate black people. I know you don't think that every interracial couple is interracial because they fell in love. No, there are some people that hate the color of their skin. Now, when I started dating white men, because the last guy I dated was white. So, when I started dating him, I'm going to tell you why I started dating him. Because I wanted to, actually, we just kind of became cool. And so I ain't going to tell no lie. But, honey, I'm going to tell you straight up and down, I love me a black man, honey. I love the way a black man walks, talks, smell. I love the smile of a black man. I ain't gonna tell no lie. I tried it. I was like, okay, let's see. And I did like him. That's the funny thing. I did like him, but God was like, no, girl. No, ma'am. For where I'm taking you in the kingdom and where I'm taking you in the ministry, I need you to have a black man that's gonna be able to cover you, keep your behind in check, and that's gonna let you know when you out of order. So, yeah. Let me stop. So to God be the glory. So to God be the glory. So yeah, but what I did, and so when I did, I kind of liked them. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of liked them. I hated it when it ended. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I liked him a lot. I did. And then he had long hair, and so he's let me braid his hair and stuff. So I kind of hated it when it ended, but at the same time, I had to obey God when God was like, Miss Ma'am, that ain't my wheel, girl. So, yeah, we're going to snatch you right back over here. And so, but to God be the glory. I'm going to make that very clear. But, there's black people that hate themselves. There's black people that hate the fact that they got a black mama and that they got a dark-skinned mama. I know I went to school with a few black men because they were dark-skinned. They never dated a black woman. I mean, never. And I remember me and one of them had a conversation. He's like, I ain't gonna say he liked the color of my shirt, but he's really dark. Like, if it was dark in the room, like he had the prettiest white teeth and you like the white of his eye, he would have to open his eyes for you to know he was in there. But I had a conversation with him one time. Me and him became cool because we started going to the same gym. And me and him finally had a conversation, and he told me, he said that he never wanted to date or marry a black woman because he did not want his children to be that dark. So a lot of people like that, whether you believe it or not. A lot of people, they hate the color of their skin. They do. They hate the color of their skin. So, you know, some black people could be racist towards other black people. I'm a black woman, and sometimes when I see a black person walking in front of my car, I check to make sure my door locked. Yup, I said it. Y'all can get mad at me all you want, but I know dang well y'all do it. I don't care. Y'all, that may have sounded so bad, but I am dead serious. I am dead freaking serious. I'm a black woman, and there's times I see a black person walking by my car, and I make sure the door's locked. And if they ain't click, y'all, I'm sorry, y'all can say whatever y'all. I could be at the gas station, sitting in my dang car, and I sit, click. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I know that sounds so bad, but see, I'm honest. Y'all ain't got to be. I'm honest. Y'all ain't got to be honest. I'm honest. I'm honest. Y'all ain't got to be honest. Man. Let a black car pull up beside me and I see a car full of dudes and they looking in my car. Click. Oh my goodness. How can you say that about your people, girl? Oh my goodness. You know why we even, and the sad thing is, we black people do that without realizing it. We don't realize it until we done did it. Why is that? Because black people always try to take from other black people. Black people act like crabs in a barrel. I don't gatekeep. Like I tell you straight up, look, okay, y'all. So, you know, there's this book here I want y'all to get, y'all. I want y'all to get this book. Y'all, I want about 700 of my subscribers to buy this book. Y'all, let's overwhelm them where they can't even ship out all the books that fast. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not a gatekeeper. And so yesterday I gave Black Girl Vitamin free publicity. I'm telling you how amazing it's done me. When it came time, I told you about Glenda Nee's book. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm one of those people. You ain't. Well, it depends on what you want me to promote, because you know you might want me to promote something. You know you might have to. You know you won't have to pay. I ain't gonna lie, because it depends on what it is. You might have to pay me to promote it. But I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not a gatekeeper, and I never will be. I'm that person. I believe when there's good things, you tell people. I think that that's just what I think. But I do know that black people are like crabs in a barrel. They don't give you the opportunity to extend the olive branch to them. They snatch the whole branch out of your hand, and then they take and pluck an olive at you. So, I'm sorry. So, I know this was not what y'all wanted to hear, but I'm telling you the truth. And the Bible says the truth shall set you free. So, with that being said, y'all hear Sophie barking because the trash people are outside. So, with that being said, y'all, I love y'all all so much. Until we meet again, I know this video has caused a lot of anger. And I know a lot of people are mad about this video. But the only people mad, ain't nobody mad but the devil. The only people mad are the black people that I'm talking about. So I love y'all so much. Until we meet again, remember that God loves you. I love you, but God loves you more, because I don't even know you, but I'm still praying for you. Go get your book. Till we meet again, be blessed, everybody. Bye. Gym time.